Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. Our first one comes from Used Guidance 72-3. Am I the beehole for refusing to beg my sister to come to Christmas to keep the family peace after she screwed me over while I had a miscarriage? I, a 34-year-old female, haven't had a relationship with my sister, Amy, a 37-year-old female, since she screwed me over while I was having a miscarriage. One of my jobs is running a family business with singles/mom. The other is at a hospital. My sister gave herself a raise/promotion behind everyone's back, then abruptly quit her job the next day. None of us were having that and called her out during an emergency team meeting. She apologized, and we all decided to revisit this in a month or so. I had the option of getting that raise/promotion. We were thinking of flipping a coin or discussing more to figure it out. I ended up miscarrying a few weeks later. I'm depressed and in pain, and Amy texts me that it's been a month and I need to make a decision now if I'm interested in taking her job. I told her I need time while I went through this and that I was not in a position to make any big decisions. I said if anything changes, we'll discuss it as a team and give you as much time as you need to get another job. If I won the coin toss, Amy's a nurse and could easily get hired back at the hospital. A week later, my mom, a 78-year-old female owner, semi-retire, announces that Amy would permanently take on that promotion/increased pay. I no longer had the opportunity. No warning, no team meeting, just a text that my sister wrote on behalf of my mom. My mom admitted this to me later, if you hadn't picked up on it. Amy is controlling, bullying, self-righteous, impatient, and unyielding. She's only close to my mom, who's very passive, no friends really, and my other sister, a 42-year-old female, doesn't speak to Amy either for different reasons. I stopped speaking to my mom and Amy. Mom apologized and initiated going to therapy to work on our relationship. I agreed and things got better. We hired a mediator to establish new policies, so things like this don't happen again. One of the policies was a bereavement to leave for things like miscarriages. Amy said she doesn't think anyone should get bereavement leave for a miscarriage, and that people would take advantage of it. Everyone disagreed with her. At this point, she still hadn't apologized, so this made me feel better about cutting her out of my life. My brother/mom want me to get over it. My brother got annoyed with me for not inviting her to my 10-person birthday breakfast. I'm always polite and professional at work, but that's the most of a relationship I want with her, and I think that's fair. My mom asked my other sister and I to encourage Amy to come to Christmas after Amy randomly sent out texts saying they won't be joining this year. I told my mom, no, she's an adult and it's up to her. If she does come, I'll be polite, but I'll keep my distance. My mom got mad and acted like I'm in the wrong. I do feel bad thinking about her 3-year-old not coming though. Her daughter is so sweet and loves her cousins, aunties, uncles, and grandma. Am I the beehole for not wanting to contact my sister to ask her to come to Christmas after she screwed me over while I was miscarrying a baby? IOP, you are not the beehole, and I'm sorry that happened to you. That happened to someone in my family, and it's not fun, or you know what I mean. First of all, Amy's a demon taking advantage of you like that when you're in a horrible situation that no one should have to go through. Honestly, shame on your mom and shame on your brother for trying to encourage you to go to. I hate families who do that, who don't see that some family members are just awful and should be cut out because they're, poisoning the entire situation, or, one bad apple spoils the bunch, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think you should cut her out, and if your mom's not careful and your brother, I would also cut them out too, because they seem to be fine with, Amy being a horrible, ghoulish demon creature. It also sounds like your other sister has the right thing, and she knew what was up with Amy and made sure to cut her out immediately. And that, why are they laying it at you to go and tell her, you and your sister tell her to come to this party, or, yeah. No, if your mom wants her to come, your mom should do it, or your brother. And excluding her from your 10-person birthday breakfast, that's your birthday breakfast, and you're keeping it as a small group, and I'm pretty sure you wanted to enjoy your breakfast without someone who's going to backstab you and treat you like crap there. So no, you are not the beehole. If I were in your situations, I would definitely 100% cut off Amy. It sounds like she's a lost cause. And like I said, your mother and brother better watch it, because I would make them next too. Our next one comes from Complex Comet. Am I the beehole for refusing to receive an inheritance given to my mom, who passed away? Not in the US. A 23-year-old female, mom, age 50, recently passed away in an accident a few weeks ago. I got a letter from a lawyer saying I'm given a house and some money, a low six-figure USD, in my mom's stead. When my dad passed away, when I was 15, my mom and I moved. We managed to buy a small house in a nice neighborhood. Our next door neighbor was Isla, now 62, who lived alone. She was divorced and her two children lived several hours away. Isla and my mom were fast friends, and they worked in the same building until Isla's retirement, different companies, and I knew they hung out often, so I was usually busy with my own things. I was often playing the errand girl, dropping off and picking up things between our houses. Isla's children visited every New Year, and they were cordial with us. I got a scholarship for university overseas, and since then didn't visit much. I learned that Isla's health was bad, and she wasn't often in and out of the hospital. I took a break from grad school and visited my mom in November. She got into a car accident the week after I went back. She clung to life for several days before leaving me forever. I'm still grieving as I have to settle all her affairs. I'm her only relative. Naturally, I inherited all she had. I also learned that Isla passed away a few days before my mom in the hospital. Isla's lawyer reached out to me, saying Isla left the house she lived and money for my mom in her will. Her children got her other properties and more money. Because my mom passed, as her next of kin, I'm to inherit Isla's house and money. Isla's children reached out to me. They said, although I have the right to the inheritance, I should relinquish it because I'm almost nothing to Isla. They are okay with my mom receiving the inheritance because she has been an active part of Isla's life. They said it's greedy of me if I decide to take the inheritance. I think back to all the nice things my mom did for Isla over the years. Isla would want my mom to live a comfortable life, and I'm sure my mom would want that money allotted for her to help take care of me. Still, I wonder if I'm a beehole for receiving the inheritance intended for my mom just because I'm the next of kin with no special connections to Isla herself. Hi, OP. I don't think you're the beehole, and I think you should accept the inheritance. You do have history with this lady, and she left it to your mom, which would be passed on to you. That's just the way it works. And it sounds like they're not wanting for anything. They have properties, and they have a lot more money from what it sounds like for, her children. So no, I don't think you should give it up. You should take it. It's what was given to your mom, and it's passed down to you. So take your money and enjoy your life, OP. Screw them. They called you greedy. They're probably the ones who are greedy, and they think that's for them, and they want all the money they can get, and they think they can bully and manipulate you into giving it up and try to use your own mom's death against you like that. That's effed up. So no, OP, you keep that money. That is your money, and I'm pretty sure your mom would have passed it on to you. Your mom sounds like she was a good person. So, yeah, keep your money, OP. Don't listen to them. Our next one comes from Electrical Coast 7602. Am I the beehole for excluding my in-laws from an important family tradition that I only do with my kids? I'm a widow, and I don't plan on remarrying ever. My wife passed when my youngest was born. We live in walking distance to where she was buried, and every Christmas Eve we walk to her grave and put a flower on her tomb. It literally takes 20 minutes at most, and it's something my kids and I hold dear. When my son remarried, we all had a conversation and agreed that we'll keep it a private tradition. My daughter-in-law understood, and just chilled at home while we went on our walk. She started to make hot cocoa for when we got back, and now that's a little tradition. The issue is my son-in-law. My daughter has talked to him and explained that she doesn't want him during the tradition. I thought this was the end of it. I was so wrong. I got a call asking me why I'm not family to him and that he needs to go on this tradition. I told him he is family, but this is a private moment. He called me a jerk and told everyone I'm excluding him. Now my daughter-in-law is in on it and she wants to go. They are family, so I need to let them go. I told the both of them no, and they are pissed. My kids are mad at their partners, and I'm wondering if the family is a jerk for keeping them out. Edit, I talked to daughter-in-law and asked her honest opinion about the tradition. She was confused and got a different story. She thought her and son-in-law were being excluded from the gift exchange/ski trip. She's fine with the tradition and enjoys the hot cocoa tradition. I asked if she could rope in son-in-law on it, and she said she will try. This was a misunderstanding, which also explains the confusion from my son. My daughter called me and told me she handled it. She made it clear she doesn't want him at the event. I also contacted the rest of my kids and asked their opinion, and all of them are okay with still keeping it with just us. My youngest has the strongest opinion on this. So, I just kinda solved itself. Though, I haven't heard my daughter that pissed off in a while. Hi OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole on this. It's not like this is a tradition that takes the whole day and you guys are going to do something super fun. You're going to a grave to mourn your wife. And yeah, if someone told me they wanted me to stay out of it, I would stay out of it. But if they invited me to come, I would go too. Yeah, I also like that your daughter-in-law made it her own little tradition to make hot cocoa for you guys when you got back. I was worried through the story. I'm glad you added the edit because I was like, oh man, she was cool, and then she changed sides, but no, she didn't change sides. She was tricked by, I believe, son-in-law. So yeah, that sucks he was going on that way. I'm glad your child was able to put a stop to it, and the situation kind of solved itself. So I don't have too much to say about fixing it. But yeah, you're not the beehole. This is a family tradition to go mourn someone you love. I get it, and love and loss. So yeah, not the beehole. And our final one comes from ManyAd3717. Am I the beehole for buying baby related gifts to give my pregnant girlfriend for Christmas? So my, a 25-year-old male, partner, a 24-year-old female, is 7 months pregnant, with our baby boy due in March next year. Now, I'm admittedly bad of thinking of what gifts to get people, so I always take a note of when they say they want something, so I have a list. In the past several months though, almost everything she's mentioned has been related to the baby. I'm not talking the essentials, but really high-end, expensive designer strollers, furniture, diaper bags, etc., etc., that can cost up to a few $1,000s each that aren't really necessary. She has been absolutely fixated on some of these things, mentioning multiple times how much she wanted them, and was even toying with the idea of saving up to buy them herself. I'm not sure if she did decide to or not. Now, I got a really healthy bonus at work recently, so decided to splurge on a few of the things she mentioned as a Christmas gift to her. I made sure to remove anything related off her registry and off our list of things we still needed to buy, so that no one else would buy it. I thought I did it discreetly, but somehow she noticed and quizzed me about it. I didn't feel like there was any point in hiding it, so I told her I had bought those things as a Christmas gift to her. I thought she'd be grateful, but she was irritated instead, and went on a bit of a rant about how it was unfair to count things for the baby as a Christmas gift to her, because this is something we both will use. And no one ever gives the father's baby stuff, and that it was inconsiderate of me to see her as only a mother now and not a person herself. Now, I get her point, but the way I see it is that items themselves aren't necessarily the gift, but more of the act of me buying them for her, given they are luxuries that she specifically wanted and were not necessities at all, e.g., paying $2,000 for a prom versus $200. Also, it wasn't the only gifts I bought her. I got her about a dozen smaller, cheaper things that were on my list, as well as more expensive tennis bracelet plus earring set that she had been eyeing, though I didn't mention that to her. So, am I the beehole for including things for the baby as a part of her Christmas gift? So, looking at the Reddit thread I got this from, I see it says poo mode activated. I'm gonna disagree. OP, you didn't do that to be mean or malice. You thought you were doing a good thing buying stuff for your child and, using it as a gift for her. I see where you're coming from, but I also see where she's coming from. But I'm gonna counter her, because I agree she should get some stuff too. She did get some stuff, but it sounds like you didn't tell her she was getting stuff. And I get why you didn't tell her. You want to surprise her with the jewelry and all that. You seem to be in a tough predicament. So no, I'm not gonna say you're poo. I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. And man, I get why you don't want to tell her. I wouldn't want to tell her. It's gonna spoil the surprise. But maybe to make things better, tell her you got her stuff too, and not tell her what you got her, but you got her stuff. Um, yeah, I think that's what I would do in that situation. Oh, looking down the comments, I'm gonna go with what Crazy Crockpot Lady said. I'd have worded that you used your bonus to surprise her, and given them at a shower versus using them as Christmas, especially since you bought the jewelry set and she was wanting as a Christmas gift. Same outcome, different intention. Yeah, I agree, that's probably the way you should have went about it, but it's a lot easier to think about that stuff when you're not in the middle of it. So yeah, I'm still gonna keep with the whole you're not the beehole. You should handle things differently, but I think if you just told her what Crockpot Lady said, that you used your bonus to surprise her and she's still getting uh, pregnants, presents, she'll be fine. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.